Friends, glad to have you with us. We have a dual Facebook Live this evening. And we are taking you to Escambia County, about 3 miles from where Lisa Bell once lived, which freaks me out. You can see in this video right here, there is a little girl. She is on the ground playing with some blue slime. Keep that in mind. That comes into play later. You see a guy she does not know who parks his car, gets out, and he takes off running for her. And Lisa Bell's going to guide you through what happens next.
This is every parent's worst nightmare. This little girl, 11 years old, waiting for the bus. This car drives by, and then about a minute later comes back. The guy stops the car, hops out, and if you want to play it, you can see how quickly he moves. She looks up, and talk about presence of mind for her. She immediately recognizes that this is a threat and starts running away. As you mentioned, she was playing with blue slime. Apparently, some of that blue slime got onto that man, and thankfully, that kind of linked him to the crime later on when people saw that blue slime on his arm. But look how fast this was. I mean, this was just a matter of seconds. Somehow she fought enough.
He also has she says he has a knife in his hand during this whole thing, so she's brave enough to fight and get rid of this guy.
I just got chills hearing that. I didn't know that he had a knife in his hand, but it makes me as a parent think, okay, every parent needs to, unfortunately, have a discussion with their children. God forbid someone like this approaches your child or tries to do something like this. Apparently, this man does have a criminal history. We have a lot more to learn. Why was he out and about if he has such a criminal history?
Yes, past criminal history, including sexual offenses with a child. They haven't released this guy's name. He's 30 years old. He has this history. And this girl says, maybe like a few weeks or a month earlier, he came and tried to talk to her. And her mom had been walking her to the bus stop.
Because of that.
Because this happened. And this was like one of the first days she says she let her go back to the bus stop by herself.
So she knew. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. So she was somewhat on alert to begin with. This is very frightening. And so you mentioned I used to live in Pensacola. It does not look like a populated area based on this video.
Right, it doesn't.
But this is located very close to Pensacola Bay. You're right in between downtown Pensacola and the Navy base is where this happened in the neighborhood, the Warrington neighborhood. So if anyone's familiar with Northwest Florida, it is a busy area. Talk about a bold move on that guy's part. Clearly he didn't want to stick around too long and fight with her because this whole thing just happened a few seconds. Interesting to note, he then, when they found that white Dodge Journey later, he had painted the front bumper black to try and disguise that car.
It was fresh paint, so they could tell he had fresh paint on the car. He also had fresh slime on his arms from trying to grab this girl. But if she hadn't have fought, you've got a guy with a history of sexual offenses with kids with a knife in that car, and I've had this talk with my daughters. You do everything you can to stay out of that car. You scream, you claw, you bite, whatever needs to happen.
God forbid he had been able to get her inside that car. Who knows where she would be tonight?
Could have been very bad. A lot of people reacting. Everybody is saying, put him under the jail, Ashley is saying.
He certainly does not ever need to be out in public again. I mean, what a threat.
Yeah, people are saying, where did that happen? Escambia County, Florida.
That's Northwest Florida.
Yeah, near Pensacola. He needs to be permanently removed from the streets. Yeah, I hope. I mean, how many chances do you get? You hear somebody already has a history.
And what is so creepy is clearly he had been watching that girl for some time.
Right.
And so obviously we have a lot more to learn from this. Did the mom call police, during their first interaction? Why wasn't more done to kind of keep an eye on this particular bus stop?
And he was so persistent that he obviously was watching, and as soon as she was back there by herself.
Yeah, he drove by, saw her there, made a U-turn, came back about a minute later, and then all of that transpired in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she apparently ran off to her mom, though, so her mom must have lived nearby. And now they're trying to obviously work through this whole issue.
She lives about a block away, and it turns out it's one of those bus stops. Like, my kid has a bus stop where there's like 20 kids who are getting on the bus at the same time. She is the only person at that bus stop. So the sheriff in that area calling this guy an animal who tried to do this, I think we all can.
But you hate that this is what our kids have to deal with. It should be kids should feel safe. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should feel
You
safe
should
going
be able
to
to
the
just
bus
play
stop.
with slime in the
Absolutely.
grass there while you're
But it
waiting.
does make you think, if you do have kids who go to a bus stop, maybe they should be in a group.
Yeah.
Certainly, as much as I don't want young kids to have a cell phone, but maybe if they're going to be at a bus stop by themselves, that's an important thing to have.
And at least you could track them if something happened. But yeah, so anyway, I know for me, seeing this video today is going to spark another conversation with my daughters, which I'm sure they're tired of. I hope you would have a conversation with your kids who are out there at the bus stop, or I'd like to say my kid is never without me outside, but they are.
But the good news, that man has been caught.
Yes.
So
He's
we're
off
going to
the
learn a
streets.
lot more, and a warning for all parents tonight.
Yeah. So thank you so much for everybody. We had a ton of people joining us, and everybody kind of agreeing. It is a terrible story to meet some of you guys this way, but thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live. We will have much more on it tonight on News 6 at 11. We are the news anchors at the CBS station in Orlando, so if you're around Central Florida, turn us on. We'll see you then.
Good night.
Bye.